Okay, so this is the video of round 6 of part 4 of the cowl. We're still on the smaller hook. In fact, we're on the smaller hook now until we get to row 16, or the end of row 16. So there's no hook changes for a considerable amount of time now. If you followed row 5, you'll know I did my chain of 3. Normally with taller stitches, the chains are always included as a stitch, and this is the case with this particular pattern as well. So I've done my chain of 3 and I've marked my top one. So I'm happy with that. So we'll crack on with the pattern itself. Okay, so we've got our first stitch in our first got our first chain in the first stitch, and that's counting as a stitch. So now we need to treble 3 together. Okay folks, so we're going to insert our hook into stitch 2, pull the yarn up, so we've got 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through the first 2 and stop. Then yarn over for the next treble, which goes into that fan there. So we pull up, yarn over through the first 2. It's a bit like doing the bobble, but we're doing it across stitches rather than all in one stitch. And we need to do one further treble. So yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up and through 2. So at this point we've got 4 loops on the hook, and then we yarn over and pull through all 4. So we've dramatically reduced 3 stitches down to 1. Okay, and because we've done that, that's why we need to do a chain of 3, so that we don't reduce the number of stitches across this piece of work. So now we chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and at first it'll look odd. It won't look like you're supposed to do with this 3, but actually it's correct, because we've taken 2 stitches away here at least, and we're going to be taking further stitches out as we go along, so we need to accommodate for that. So the next instruction is to put a double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2 and 3. So we're working across the top of this fan. Like I've said, don't worry about this bulging at this point, it will get righted later on. So now we're into a repeat action. So we need to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, because we're going to lose some dramatic stitches here, because we're trebling 7 together. So I'll get as close as I can without blurring it. So yarn over for a treble, insert your hook, pull up, yarn over through the first 2, so that's 1. Yarn over for treble 2, pull up and through the first 2. So we're just partially completing these trebles at this point. So that's 2, that's 3, this is 4. Make sure you're on the right track. This is the centre of the 3 along the bottom. Number 4, number 5, and then we're starting to go up the side of this fan again. Number 6 and number 7. So at this point we should have 8 loops on our hook. 2, 4, 6, 8. And then we yarn over and we pull through all 8. So we're dramatically reducing 7 stitches down to just 1. And this is why you need these bits of chain to accommodate for that reduction in stitches, to make sure that your piece stays straight. So we're chaining 3, and then we're putting 3 doubles across the top of this fan, and that's the end of that repeat action. So now we're starting again. So we chain 3, and then we're going to treble 7 together again. So into that first stitch, pull up partially complete, partially complete 2, partially complete 3, partially complete 4, and again we're in that center spot of the 3 doubles along the bottom, partially complete 5, partially complete 6, and partially complete 7. So we should have 8 loops, 2, 4, 6, 8, yarn over and complete, chain 3. Then we're putting a double crochet across the top 3 stitches of that fan. Okay, and then we're starting again. So we're chaining 2, 1, 2, 3, even 3, and then we're trebling 7 together. So again, partially complete 1 treble, partially complete 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7. 2, 4, 6, 8, yarn over through them all, chain 3, then 3 doubles across the top of the next fan. Okay, and this is what creates that sort of wheel effect. Okay, so we're off on another repeat. So 1, 2, 3, reducing 7 down to 1, so partially complete, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, yarn over through them all, chain 3, 2, and 3. Okay, and then we've got 3 doubles across the top, 1, 2, and 3, chain 3, and we're doing it all again. So partially complete 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, yarn over through them all, and chain 3, and then 3 doubles across the top, 1, 2, and 3, and then we've got one more large reduction. So here we go. So that's 1. No, you see, I forgot my chain 3. Chain 3, and then do your reduction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then through all 8 loops on your hook, chain 3, 3 doubles across the top, and now we're coming towards the end. So what we need to do now is chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and we're trebling 3 together. So it's 3 partially completed trebles. That's 1, 2, and 3. So we have 4 loops on our hook, yarn over through all of those, reducing that down to 1, and then the last stitch is to put a treble. So again, I mark that stitch with my stitch marker. I'm not going to complete in this colour because we're colour changing again, and we're colour changing to teal. If you're following the pattern, use whatever alternatives you've decided to use. Yarn over and we'll pull up, and I'll just check to see how row 7 is to begin. Row 7 is to begin with a chain 3. So I'll do my chain 3 now. 1, 2, 3. I'll just move this stitch marker, excuse my hand, sorry, and I'll mark the top chain for the return journey on that side. I will snip off the mint and I'll weave that end in, but again I'll do it on all my videos, and sometimes it can get a bit lengthy. So this is what row 6 should look like once it's complete. Okay, if you've got any questions, please post me a message. But I will be continuing on to row 7, which is in teal. We're still on a small hook, so I'll speak to you soon. Happy hooking, bye.